Thank you. And there is one thing that I'd like for each of you to do. We have a camera here. Dr. K, we'll start with you since Big Joe opened it up for us. Can you look into this camera and let people know beyond a job and even a non-traditional job? A lot of things Karen and Joe aren't saying about themselves, but Karen is an optometrist, and a lot of times, like Joe said, people just go to work and it just becomes a complacent attitude. But here we have two people who have taken this job, and it's no easy stretch of the imagination to know what they do. But they've taken a stepping stone and created a horizon. Let people know, Karen, what you do beyond the waterfront.
What do I do? My mission in life right now, Tammy, is health and freedom.
Okay.
And what I do now is I help people find their true healthy bodies again, and I help people with their weight. So I'm a health and weight coach.
Great.
And it is just, I go to bed worrying about it and thinking about it, and I wake up in the morning worrying and thinking about it. And maybe you know this or maybe you haven't noticed, but it has been proven that the population is now 80% of the population are overweight.
Uh-oh.
And 30% 30% of the population is obese.
Okay.
This, the latest information that's just come out is that we are the first generation who will have to bury our children.
Wow.
We are the first generation in the history of mankind where the children will not outlive their parents. So this country is in a turmoil, and they are scrambling. Finally, the government is taking notice, and they are scrambling to reverse some of the damages that we've done to ourselves. And they're changing diets in schools, and they're changing diets in hospitals, and they're doing all these things. They're getting the fast food industry to come up with these little tricks and ploys. It's still bad food, but that's the most precious part of what I do now. My focus is on children, and children that are carrying too much weight. And the children today are coming down with diseases that didn't plague us and generations before us until we were in our 50s and 60s. So we have 3, 4, and 5-year-old children now becoming type 2 diabetics.
Wow. Yeah, we had an endocrinologist on.
Yeah.
And was doing
And
some
so
heavy
that's what I do. And that's where Joe was, and on the waterfront, I mean, when I go to work and I come home, I literally come home in tears.
Wow.
Because I look at my fellow brothers and sisters, and as they walk in and walk out, I just sit there and I shake my head from left to right.
Is that because of the weight?
Because of the weight, because of, and I'm not just talking about weight. I teach people how to cleanse their body from the inside out.
Okay.
Anybody can get skinny, do a crazy diet, and look thin.
Okay.
But I'm talking about getting healthy. And when your body's healthy, you automatically lose excess
Sure,
weight because
sure.
it's the miracle, not us.
Okay.
And so I look at people from the inside out, and I can tell people when they're overweight. I can look and tell you're sick. Even if you're thin, I can look at you and tell you're sick and that you're impure. So that's what you see down there. Not to mention that the environment that we work in,
Wow, that's what I was thinking.
alone, is just so filled with toxins, and we're about to kill off cities that are upwind from us. Wilmington, Carson, San Pedro, and it's documented. It's in the newspapers all the time. So
it's interesting that you would mention that, Dr. K. Excuse me, but I ran into Omar, and if God's willing, he'll be on to one of our shows. We're going to get an exclusive interview with Mayor Omar Bradley. And he's just recently, I'm sure everyone knows his whole scenario, but he's going to be here to tell his story. But one thing that Omar mentioned to me was that the city of Compton, that they want to get rid of all that and have warehouses. So the industry that you're speaking of, like you said, it's really branching out into the inner city. And that would just be, it just seems like, because now you have the Alameda corridor. Right. You have trucks coming left and right, left and right, left and right. And something that you're mentioning now is the health effect on all this.
Yes, it's very serious. And so that's what I'm doing. And I would love to do it within the industry that I work in, because you have 10,000 people down there. I would say, just like the general population, 80% of them are very sick. 80% of them are overweight. I sit and I watch them drinking Pepsis all day long, and I actually work the hoot shift, which is 2 in the morning to 8 in the morning.
Wow! And
you walk in and they're having a potluck. What on earth could you possibly need a potluck for at 3
o'clock
o'clock in the morning? And these are massive potlucks.
Okay.
And I just sit and I watch this, and it's just it breaks my heart. So that's what I'm doing.
So do you find that people are receptive?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Very select people down there, those that are broader thinkers. I have been